are you so scared of your mommy?
That's not my mommy.
Nobody knows when she first appeared. Some claim there are records dating back hundreds of years. Others believe she isn't old at all, that she's something new, something born from grief or loneliness. The first documented cases appeared in the 1960s. Children all over the United States began describing the same dream. A woman standing beside their bed. She was unnaturally tall, almost touching the ceiling. Her dress looked old and stained, or as though it had been soaked in muddy water. And where her face should have been, there was nothing. No eyes, no mouth, no nose. Only smooth skin stretched tightly over emptiness. The children said she would simply stand there, not moving, not breathing, watching for hours. And then they would hear her voice, not with their ears, but inside their heads. Gentle, soft, motherly, always asking the same question. Have you seen my children? Most children answered no. And then the woman would tilt her head. She whispered, "Then perhaps you are one." Psychologists dismissed the reports. Children talk and rumors spread. The nightmares became contagious. The case closed until the forgetting began. It started small. A little girl forgot her mother's birthday. A boy couldn't remember his mom's favorite song. Children began calling their mothers by their first names. They became withdrawn and cold, almost annoyed whenever their parents hugged them. One mother wrote in her journal, "My daughter looks at me like I'm a stranger." At first, people blamed television, then medications, then stress, but the cases kept growing, and the symptoms became impossible to ignore. One day, a 7-year-old girl was shown a family photograph. She pointed at herself, pointed at her father, then froze. She stared at her mother for nearly 30 seconds and finally asked, "Who is that woman?" Everyone laughed. They assumed she was joking, but the girl started crying. Real crying and terrified crying. She kept repeating, "That's not my mommy. That's not her. My mommy doesn't look like that anymore." 3 weeks later, the little girl disappeared. Her bedroom window was open. There were no footprints, no signs of forced entry, no fingerprints either, only a single drawing left behind. The drawing showed a tall woman, no face, long arms, an old dress, and in the center of her chest, a massive hole, and inside it, tiny figures, children, standing shoulder to shoulder, smiling. Investigators were disturbed, not because of the drawing itself. Children draw creepy things all the time, but because when they searched old cases, they found more. Hundreds of them, every missing child, every decade. Same woman, same empty chest, same smiling children trapped inside. Some drawings even contained names, the missing children's own names. Authorities quietly gave the entity a designation, the Hollow Mother, and ordered all related material sealed. A couple of weeks later, on a weeknight, a woman's son began humming. The melody was unfamiliar. It was slow and gentle, like a lullaby. The boy claimed, "Mommy taught me." His mother asked, "I taught you?" The boy shook his head and smiled. and pointed towards the window.
No, the other mommy.
The family fled the house, but the boy disappeared 3 nights later. Victims describe dreaming of a woman holding them, rocking them gently, running her fingers through their hair, telling them, "I've been looking for you. You're finally home. I'm never letting go." And slowly they stop dreaming about their real families. Their mother's face becomes blurry, her voice fades, her hugs feel unfamiliar. Their memories begin disappearing piece by piece, until eventually there's room for only one mother. Nobody knows where the missing children go. Some believe they're dead, others think they're trapped somewhere, inside her, inside that endless darkness in her chest, still waiting and trying to escape. A man claimed that he saw a little girl standing in a forest clearing. She was maybe 8 years old, and she was smiling. Behind her stood the Hollow Mother, her chest cavity open. The girl says,
I found my mommy.
Then something moves inside the darkness. Dozens of pale little hands stretching outward, scratching desperately at the ribs, trying to get out. And just for a moment, he could hear them whispering, crying, and calling out for help. The little girl doesn't react, she just keeps smiling. And then the Hollow Mother slowly lowers her arms, wraps them around the child, and pulls her into the darkness inside her chest. Every victim says the same thing before they disappear. They don't say that they're scared or they need help. They say that they don't remember their real mother anymore. And maybe that's the worst part, because if the Hollow Mother ever chooses you, she won't hurt you, she won't drag you screaming into the night. She'll just stand behind your bed every night, patiently, lovingly, waiting. Until one day, you look up at the faceless thing standing over you, and without understanding why, you smile and reach for her hand, whispering, "Mommy."